everybody, welcome to Garden Time with Belle. Today I am out in my greenhouse and you might see behind me, it is snowing where I live here in mid-Missouri. Late winter, early spring, gosh, you never know. You never know what kind of weather you're going to have. Everybody says that, don't they? I mean, whether you're in Missouri or other parts of the country, everyone seems to say that, especially those of us who live in the Midwest. But anyhow, yeah, just a few days ago, my husband and I were out actually in the garden doing a controlled burn, a prescribed burn in our pollinator habitat. And if you're interested in seeing that adventure, take a look at my YouTube video that I think I put out, I think I put that out on Friday, the Friday after Valentine's Day. So anyhow, yeah, so you might want to take a look at that. Well, that day it was like in the 50s and beautiful and sunny, but just a few days later we've got this, but that's okay because I am inside my warm and toasty greenhouse. I heat my greenhouse, and you have to where I live if you're going to grow things in the winter. So it is probably, I don't know, it's snowing outside, so it's probably in the low to mid 30s, but inside my greenhouse it's probably, let me look over here at my temperature gauge, it's probably around, what's it say, it is about 58, almost 60 degrees, so not too bad inside my greenhouse today. So I hope you can hear me. I've got some of those heaters running and hope they won't be a distraction. But so I thought I'd show you all the seeds that I'm going to start sowing today for the garden. I have a mixture of flowers and pepper plants. So let me show you what I plan to grow. I've never grown pansies before, so I'm going to give it a try, give my best attempt at growing these. And I have a variety from Baker Creek called the Trumpets Mix. Check that out. Aren't those gorgeous? Look at those colors. I really enjoy growing pansies in early spring, and actually I like to grow them and have them in pots in the fall. Actually, they do better for me in the fall. They last longer. I had pansies this past fall in pots outside my greenhouse and on my back porch for, gosh, several months. Let's see, I would say October, November, and all of December. They just went crazy. Even with our cool temperatures, I mean, really cool temperatures, they are tough little plants. So anyhow, I'm going to try pansies for the first time. Next up, in terms of flowers, I am going to grow snapdragons, and snapdragons are a gorgeous cut flower, and I devote quite a bit of my raised bed garden behind me, and I've got a couple of other spots that I grow cut flowers around our property. And so, yeah, so 2 varieties I'm going to give a go this year of snapdragons. The first, these are from Johnny's Seeds. The first is Madam Butterfly Cherry Bronze. And the other one is the Costa Silver version. I don't know if you know or not, but snapdragons come in 4 groups. Groups 1, 2, 3, and 4. And those numbers relate to when they flower and when they do best outside in the garden. The Costa Silver are group 2, so 2 would be, little spring, early summer. They like cooler temps. And the Cherry Bronze that I'm going to grow, they are listed as a group 3-4. So, yeah, so those do better in late summer and fall. So the hope is, growing these 2 different groups or varieties of snapdragons, I will have some beautiful cut flowers throughout the season this year. You can't see it, or maybe you can see it behind me, but I hope the audio is okay. I have a lot of snow on the roof of the greenhouse right now, and as it's heating up in here, because I have heaters running, it is melting or releasing some of that snow, and it's falling off the roof. So I hope you can hear me over all the snow dropping. Okay, peppers. So I am planning to grow mild peppers or sweet peppers and hot peppers. So the mild peppers, I've got a variety that's new to me from Baker Creek called Atuda. Check that out. Atuda, they describe it as a tasty Polish commercial variety, sugary sweet when ripe, blocky, thick-walled orange fruit is crisp and juicy, and apparently They're supposed to reach a half a pound. We'll see if they get that big. Second one, this one I grow every year. California Wonder. A very reliable, gorgeous red pepper. But as you know, if you've grown peppers before, they're all green in the beginning, in their immature state, and then they graduate to different colors as they get fully ripe. Here's a new one, but it sounded really interesting in that beautiful Baker Creek catalog, and that is a Sugar Rush Peach. Sugar Rush Peach says it is a long peach-colored fruit packed with loads of super sweet tropical flavor, and the seeds bring a smoky, complex heat. Ooh, doesn't that sound great? I love peppers. Raw, cooked, in soups, stews. Oh, love it, love it. Here's a wonderful snacking pepper that I'm excited to grow, and this is from Johnny's. I won't show you the package because Johnny's doesn't put a pretty picture, but maybe I'll find a picture and put it up on the screen for you. These are considered sweet peppers. They're called the lunchbox pepper. If any of you are like me and you've purchased those little multicolored peppers for snacks, today's video I decided to just speed up the process. You all have seen me sow seeds and start seeds in trays many, many times, and if you haven't, check out a lot of the videos I've been posting recently because it is mid-February here in Zone 6B, and this is the time for me to start a lot of different seeds. It'll really amp up when the first week of March, first and second week of March, oh my gosh, you guys, like, I have so many things that I need to start at that point. And again, you know, starting seeds, really important. Read the package of the seeds, and they will tell you on the packet how many weeks before your average last frost you need to start the seeds so that you can plant them out when all dangers of frost are past. And in my Zone 6B here in mid-Missouri, my average last frost is around April the 18th or 19th. You can certainly, sow them, or not sow them, but you can certainly plant off after that, and a lot of people like to use Mother's Day as their day to hold off, and that doesn't happen until May, and that's okay. That's how you do it, but I push the envelope with a lot of things, especially some of these things I'm going to be growing, like the snapdragons. I've got some other things growing off that don't mind cooler temperatures. Certainly I'm going to be sowing lettuce and spinach and all of that directly into the garden, really, really early on because they love the cooler temps. So anyhow, I sped up the video today just so you can see my process. You've seen it many times. So I hope you enjoy watching me do a rapid fire sowing seed session just to show you the process once again that I like to use for starting my seeds. got my pepper plant sown. I've got 3 varieties of hot and 3 varieties of sweet. And back here, I've got some pretty snapdragons, 2 different varieties, and some pansies. It's only early to mid-February where I live, but this is the time to start these seeds because they take a long time to grow to maturity. I'll get these babies on heat mats until they germinate, and then it'll be time to take those domes off and watch them grow. Over here, you saw in an earlier video on my YouTube channel, these geraniums. I've got 1, 2, 3 varieties, 4 and 5, and they are coming along great. Let me get in here really close. You can see the true leaves right here, those little scalloped edges. So when they get a few more sets of leaves, then I will be starting to give them a very, very low dose, diluted dose of liquid fertilizer. Just to wrap up what you all got to see in terms of my seed starting, I sowed hot peppers, mild peppers, a couple of varieties of snapdragons, and pretty pansies. My process was the same as you've always seen me do in terms of seed sowing, but just to recap, that process is and I hope you saw my chopstick trick. I use a chopstick that's gently moistened on my tongue before I tap it onto those little teeny tiny snapdragon seeds. I mean, they're like the size of, I was trying to think of how to describe that if you've not handled snapdragon seeds. Like poppy seeds, you know how tiny those are? Yeah. Snapdragon seeds are like poppy seeds, but maybe even a bit tinier. And so for me, that's a great way to handle that seed very carefully to get it in those seed cell trays. And what you didn't see in the video is then I took those seeds that were all tucked in and I placed those seed trays on a heat mat. Heat mats speed germination. And sometimes you'll even read on that seed packet where it tells you that they need a certain amount of heat to germinate. So I just always, all of my stuff, I put on a heat mat. Heat mats, mine is the kind I use are, they keep around 70 degrees. So that's about the perfect temperature for most seedlings to start, 60 to 75 degrees. So anyhow, but again, once those seedlings pop up, I remove the dome and I remove them from the heat mat. That's really another important tip that I'm learning. So anyhow, thank you so much for hanging out with me today and watching my rapid fire seed starting of what I hope will be delicious peppers and beautiful cut flowers in the garden. If you liked today's video, please click like, and as always, I encourage you to click the subscribe button so that you will be able to see more of my videos. They'll load up in your YouTube account and you'll get to see some more of my adventures. So have a great day, everybody. I'm going to try to stay warm even though it's cold and snowy where I live. I hope it's great wherever you are. And as always, happy gardening.